Honey, how do you feel? Do you want to go back to sleep?
Strike me this morning.
Look, honey, I know you feel awful, but at least you're awake. I was so scared last night on the beach. Coney Island.
Last night?
Don't you remember you fell asleep on the sand? And the policeman came by, he thought I was stealing something from you. And then the two of us tried to wake you up. And you said something to him? Patty, what's wrong with you? Don't you remember?
Hey, please, I feel rotten enough without you yelling at me. Now let me get dressed.
Patty, how much do you remember? Do you remember all of it from the time that you left the taxi?
Let go, damn it! Stop pawing at me, Delia! Just shut up and leave me alone, all right? Could you manage that for a couple of minutes?
Hidden. Patty, I didn't mean to upset you. It's just that I was scared last night, and I'm scared now.
Just forget it.
But you're mad at me.
Just want to take my shower and get the hell out of here.
Patty, I'm just afraid that you're getting yourself sick.
I'm not sick.
Honey, I promise you I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
I do remember last night. Sorry I blew up.
No. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. We went to Coney Island last night, and you gave me a really good time. And then the first thing this morning, I started bugging you about it. I don't blame you for blowing up at me. I don't.
We straightened everything out with the cop, right?
Yeah. He was very nice after he believed me. But I was just terrified because it was so dark outside.
Yeah, me too.
Can I make anything for breakfast for you? Anything that you want. You want pancakes, French toast?
Just coffee.
I know. I'll make scrambled eggs, and you can have a bite if you want. Patty? Look, I know what you need now is peace and quiet, and I promise you I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to do a big shopping today. I'm going to go get some fresh vegetables. Oh, yeah, I was thinking of going to see Little John and then talking with May for a while. That would be good, wouldn't it?
Bills. Rest of this. I'm just... Mary.
We are in Sligo. And this morning I said to Jack, there's a house I want to see called Lissadell. And I told him about the Gore Booth family, Protestant and privileged, who had such concern for their Irish Catholic tenants during the famine that they mortgaged their estates to feed the starving countryside. And how from that background had come the most famous daughters of the house, Constance, a revolutionary, and Eva, a poet. Daughter seems to be the magic word these days. And we went to Lissadell. It's easy to imagine Constance galloping her horse across the tidal flats, or the girls in lace dresses with picnic baskets in Lissadell woods. The place is haunted, if not by ghosts, though William Butler Yeats said he saw one on the staircase, then by the passions and dreams of a girl who grew up to help change Irish history. The 20th century hasn't changed Lissadell. It's all the same as it was in the 80s and 90s. Vast and strong and simple, with touches of elegance. Both of us fell in love with the place and with the idea of life in an Irish country house. It was easy to imagine ourselves there, surrounded by children and animals and weekend guests. We discovered later we'd had an identical fantasy of tea in the drawing room. This is the room of which Yeats wrote. The light of evening, Lissadell. Great windows open to the south. Two girls in silk kimonos, both beautiful. One a gazelle. But beyond Constance and Eva, one imagines all the others. Mothers and fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts and uncles, artists, writers, politicians. Endless oceans of tea in china cups, polished silver and hot scones and jam, secrets and surprises, love, joys, and sorrows. All their echoes and whispers still caught somehow within the walls of this one place. So surely that we felt connected to them all, and left feeling as we would upon leaving the house of a friend.
Maeve? Oh, you're starting the tea. What's the matter?
I don't know. It's Pat. I'm very worried about him.
Was a direct call the financial.
Patty has been acting very strangely lately. And you see, he's doing things that frighten me, and he won't talk to me about it. All right, maybe you think that I'm silly to worry like this. But he got very mad at me this morning, and for no reason at all, Maeve.
Well, is that the problem? I mean, that he lost his temper?
Maeve, he was screaming at me this morning. And I looked at him, and he was shaking. Now, he has never acted like that to me, not even when we were kids, never.
Well, I know that Patrick is very good-natured, but occasionally he does boil over. I mean, was he very tired?
He's overexhausted, Maeve.
Well, then that explains it, dear. I mean, that and the pressure that he's under because of the strike.
Maeve, you don't understand.
Delia, I saw with my own eyes Patrick here the night of Mary's wedding. I am a very clear picture about the state that boy is in. Now, I know how bad I feel when I see him with his red-rimmed eyes, and I know it must be a great deal worse for you, but he loves you, dear, and what he needs now is for you to help him.
Maeve, how am I supposed to help him when I don't know how because he's changing all the time? Last night he came in after picketing and he was wet and he was cold because he was outside in the rain. So I dried his hair and then I gave him a cup of coffee. And then I figured I would get his mind off of the strike, and so I would involve him in one of my projects. We were putting wallpaper up in the living room. Okay, he was acting happy and he was acting silly. Maybe he was absolutely wide awake, and then all of a sudden he insisted upon going to Coney Island and to see the stars.
You let him do that?
Maeve, I couldn't stop him. Okay, we got there, and then he went to sleep. Maeve, I couldn't get him up. And it was like he was unconscious, and then we got home, and he was talking, and he wasn't making any sense at all.
And then this morning he started hollering at you, is that it?
Maeve, I'm going to call the doctor. I know Patty's going to be mad at me that I'm making an appointment for her, but...
Now, listen to me, girl. You're on a totally wrong track. There are only two things that you can do for my Patrick today.
Maeve, I'm not going to see him till tonight.
Fine. Number one, have a hot meal waiting for him.
Okay, I will. I'll do something special like that. I'll make him the fish, and I'll stuff it with that special stuffing with the nuts.
Just make pot roast, some mashed potatoes, string beans, and number two, get him to bed early.
Maeve, would you tell me what good is that going to do?
It's going to do all the good in the world. Now remember, bed before 8 o'clock and no coffee.
I don't think you're taking this very seriously.
Dear, I may be giving you very simple advice, but I think it is very serious. Now, you know how much better you feel when Patrick takes care of you, right? Well, now it's your turn to take care of him for a change. Will you do that, Dee?
Yeah, I will. Why don't you go back to your letter? I'm sorry I'm interrupting.
Wait a minute, Dee. This is from Mary. Maybe it'd do you good to hear some of this. Let me read some of this to you.
Want the late
Might do you. Mary and Jack are having such a good time and taking such pleasure in each other that I thought it might do you good to hear some of this.
Yeah, of course they're having a good time. They're in Ireland, they're on their honeymoon, no worries, lots of sleep. Who wouldn't have a good time?
Shh, Dee. Just listen, When someone in the local pub told Jack that
Queen Maeve was buried under a great stone cairn at the top of the mountain called Knocknarea. You guessed it. We were into mountain climbing. Jack was also into Yates.
The wind has bundled up the clouds high over Knocknarea and thrown the thunder on the stones for all that Maeve can see. When was Maeve queen, anyway?
In the 1st century.
Queen of all Ireland?
Queen of Connacht, the West. Oh, Jack, it's fuchsia. Can you believe it? You realize, of course, that these are blackberries. Blackberries growing wild in December.
Beautiful. It's all beautiful. you're beautiful.
You know what's really beautiful?
What?
Your boots.
Oh, yeah, well, don't make fun of my boots. My feet are warm and dry, thank you.
I'm not making fun of them. I think you should wear them all the time in New York.
Ha, ha, ha. Where'd that dog come from, anyway?
The farmhouse, I think. Come on, honey. Come on, Finelli. I'll race you.
Oh, she's serious. Come on, dog!
Oh, Jack. Oh, my knee.
What's the matter? What happened?
Knee. I don't know what's right. Got you, you fool. Hooray! I win. I win. I always win.
I don't understand you, Maeve. tell you that Patty's sick. And I don't know what to do, so you read me that letter. And that makes things only worse.
I was trying to suggest to you, Delia, that Mary and Jack are finding a lot of simple happiness in just being together and loving one another. And if you would just relax a bit and stop pressuring Patrick and making demands on him, you might find the same.
Thanks a lot.
Delia,
Before the explosive two-part season finale of Night Shift, get caught up with the first 12 episodes. General Hospital Night Shift Catch-Up Marathon. Sunday starting at noon, only on SoapNet.